Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Barreto Boys are back for your Sunday weekly NFL recap. I am Dylan Barreto, Podcast Poppy. I am with Big Brother Stephen Barreto, the Sand Viper. Hello.
Hello.
And we are here to recap this week's slate of NFL games for Week 15 of the NFL. Starting first with Sunday Night Football, Baltimore Ravens 23, Jacksonville Jaguars 7. Fun fact, Steven, this game is the only this game sealed the only bet that I won today, which was my parlay of touchdown scorers.
This was the second bet I won today. It was the Gus Edwards anytime touchdown.
Yep.
Which I thought was going to be ruined in the first half when they got the goal line at the end of halftime, and the stupid right tackle. I was like, oh, here we go, and then the right tackle committed the freaking personal foul.
Personal foul, headbutting the safety. I saw that. I was like, fuck. No, I was in real jeopardy earlier because I had Josh Allen, CeeDee Lamb, Christian McCaffrey, and Gus Edwards anytime touchdown for score a parlay. I get and Debo, C-Mac and Debo. So I got both of those. I got the Josh Allen, and I'm sweating my dick off about CeeDee Lamb all fucking game, which we can get to that when we get there. But I was sweating my dick off all game just for the only touchdown the Cowboys score was the handoff, and I was like, yeah. Baltimore 23, Jaguar 7. Lamar Jackson's awesome.
MVP.
Lamar Jackson's awesome. Anthony just sent in the chat about Brock Purdy being the favorite for MVP. Lamar Jackson is this league's MVP. That man was electric in every sense of the word. You couldn't get this motherfucker down. He was creating plays in the pocket, out of the pocket, everything you wanted out of Lamar. Every Lamar Jackson hater that's ever lived watched this game today and was like, fuck.
Most valuable player for a reason. Is like, without him, what are they? Brock Purdy can play bad. San Francisco can still win. They don't need Brock Purdy to play good. They just need Brock Purdy to play. They need a quarterback to play. It's not. They can play. Brock Purdy, if he plays bad, San Francisco can still win. We saw this a month ago. The first time they played Seattle. In Seattle, Brock Purdy was terrible that game. He only completed touchdown passes to the other team, and they still destroyed the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
If Lamar plays bad or Dak plays bad, has a bad game, the team doesn't go nowhere.
What's up, Courtney? Thanks for stopping by. This is also without J.K. Dobbins. This is without Mark Andrews. This is without Marlon Humphrey. This is a injured, beat up Ravens team.
And you're making guys better. You make guys better. You make everybody you make likely better. You make everybody around you better. Even though you can really throw the ball.
Without Debo,
keeping plays alive this game is how you try to win an MVP. Like this time we had 10 seconds to throw because he is him moving around.
He had that one sequence in the first half where he literally had two guys coming on left, stepped up, could have ran, waited a second, saw those over there, moved to the left a little bit more before he ran past the line of scrimmage, looked more, and then decided to run it. I was like, this is the evolution of how good Lamar Jackson has got as a quarterback, to where he's not just looking to run now when there's nothing there. He's looking to move out of the pocket, create, see if anybody's picking up what he's putting down, see if they're going to stop their route to run with him to get those plays. If not, he can just go.
We're also not freaking running the ball, coming out in multiple
pistol every 3 seconds
back, and then let's go, everybody run Lamar, and then Lamar takes a hit. You don't want Lamar hurt at the end of the year. Running quarterbacks, what do they don't want to do? But Lamar Jackson said, what do you love about this offense? You know what I love about this offense? We're handing the ball to the running back. Let's take the blow. Even though they did their version of the tush push. Lamar was all the way in the back. They had a freaking backup tight end get pushed.
Mm-hmm.
Why you don't want these guys? If you run with them, you're gonna end up like Cam Newton. You have no arm to throw the ball no more.
I was having this idea the other day when I was I think it was like maybe 2 days ago. I was driving home. I was thinking about the tush push and how they're trying to fucking ban it. I was like, you know what these guys should do is fuck a quarterback doing the tush push. Put a backup left tackle there in at quarterback and do the tush push with him. See if that's illegal or any way, shape, or form, because that guy, that's a hard stop there. Just then you have to put a limit on what you're doing there. Because if they put a 340-pound man at quarterback to do the tush push, there's a real problem.
The report is eligible, and I
Yep.
don't know if he'll be eligible.
Because you'd probably have to have him at tight end in the shotgun, motion in, take the snap. Right? Unless you could actually have him just be quarterback.
Yeah, but they can't touch the ball unless it's like a fumble.
But Kelsey takes snap. They take snaps at tight end.
Yeah, but you're talking about a left tackle.
No. I'm talking about putting like your backup left tackle as the quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As the quarterback, it'd be ineligible because of the number.
Mm. Then you'd have to put him at tight end and have him do it that way. I know you all are watching, coaches. I know if there's anybody, it's Nick Sirianni. He's probably already got it working. Put Fletcher Cox in there at tight end.
If you're watching, and we know that you are,
run the big boys for the tush push.
The Jaguars miss Christian Kirk.
Steven's in last place and is going to have to spin the wheel. I didn't make the playoffs because I got the single worst.
You're in a dream right now.
I get the single worst year of Patrick Mahomes' career, along with the single worst year of Travis Kelce's career, and I missed the playoffs. That's how my fantasy's going.
The single worst quarterback play ever. All I have is Kenneth Walker and a dream.
It's not fun. This Jaguars team looks like they missed Christian Kirk. Their offense is lost, for me at least. I know they got the Agnew pass for 65 yards, but up until even after that, I was like, this offense just seems like it's struggling. And I don't know whether that's just the offense struggling itself or if that's just the Ravens looking like the best team in football right now or the best team in the AFC.
It's also Doug Peterson got to take the play calling back. Press Taylor is not doing it. Like some of these plays, like these little screen passes that don't ever work. You got to find something else. Like, you got to be more creative. Here's why Lamar Jackson is also the MVP. He also leads his team in rushing yards.
He's after this game, I think he's at like 760 on the year, which would he's about to crack 1,000 again.
And this game, he just broke the Michael Vick's record for most games over 50 yards rushing as a quarterback. Mm-hmm. He's number one now.
Lamar's the man. Lamar is the fucking man. Like, anybody who's going to sit there and say they'd rather have Brock Purdy as MVP over Lamar Jackson is insane. Luckily, we get to watch these two play in a couple weeks, which is going to be a really good game. It could be like your preview to the Super Bowl.
Lamar's missing his guy, and they're winning.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Purdy without his guys.
They lost.
Because they're going to be in an interesting situation soon. I'm just going to say that.
They're 0-3 without Debo and Trent Williams. So we'll see. And again, they also have the games where Brock doesn't need to be phenomenal.
It's amazing because 5 weeks ago they're like, "Oh, Christian McCaffrey's the MVP." Now we're just going to go run away from that.
Christian McCaffrey still was responsible for like 187 yards of total offense today.
Plus here's a reason. They run the ball 48% of the time.
Let's move on. That was a great showing for Lamar tonight. Let's go. Let's talk about Thursday. This whatever the fuck this was. Vegas versus Chargers, 63-21. 42 points or in the first half by the Raiders. And then I didn't watch a lot of this game. The first play I watched of this game was Easton Stick getting fumbled, getting sack fumbled, and Big Boy picking it up for Scoopski Patata of Scoop 6. And then I immediately turned the game off. I was like, I don't need to watch this.
I didn't know it was. I'm like, these motherfuckers
Like,
about.
we both picked the Raiders.
They could have scored 70 if they wanted to. There was plenty of time left. There was like 8 minutes left. I'm like, these guys are going to score 70 again. I'm like, the Chargers are playing so bad right now. They are tired of Brandon Staley. They want him gone after this game. And they got their wish.
Because there was you couldn't not fire him after this. You were already going to fire him after the season. You couldn't not fire him after this. Like, this is just ridiculous. You're a defensive-minded coach, and you gave up 63 points. You're the defensive play caller, and you're giving up 63 points. That's unreal. That's unreal.
They gave up that game. They quit that game. Who's the interim who took over? He deserved to be fired.
I think their special teams coach took over because what's his face? The OC didn't want to take it because he didn't want to ruin his opportunities at a head coaching job in the offseason.
His opportunities are already ruined. He's fucking look what he ruined Justin Herbert. And he's also to blame too. He only put up 21. What did you do in the first half?
Nothing. Like, literally nothing. This team, I was sending out the Brandon Staley, you're fired, has been fired things in like the second quarter.
Like the Raiders are winning this game and Staley is getting fired because they got 10 days rest, new coach, do the shit he wants to. Here's the thing. If Bill Belichick becomes the head coach of this fucking team, say goodbye to Keenan Allen. Eckler wasn't going to come back anyway. They weren't going to bring Eckler back regardless. So Keenan Allen's going to be gone. He's probably going to trade Mike Williams, and then you're stuck with Quentin Johnston and the rest. Khalil Mack, he'll get rid of. No, we can't pay Khalil Mack. He's gone. Joey Bosa, gone. You're out of here.
He'll keep Bosa. I don't think he'll keep Mack.
Asante Samuel Jr. will probably talk to his dad. His dad's like,
his dad would like, get me the fuck out of here. But at least we know Bill can actually still coach defense. That's the thing there. Like, we know Bill can coach defense with less talent. That's the one thing we know for sure.
The Chargers are the Spanos family is notoriously cheap. So is Bill Belichick. So the other team with a new owner.
I don't know if the problem with Bill Belichick, where all the reports are coming out that he is going to be gone after the season, like we knew, like we didn't know this was going to happen already. I just don't know who he brings on as an offensive play caller. That's the problem here. I just don't know what you do.
I want to point out that I've pointed this out before the season started. I said, Kraft is tired of Belichick shit. I've said this numerous times. He did not want to lose Tom Brady. Last year was the final straw. He was he came close to not coaching this year. Kraft was going to get rid of him last year. He gave him one more chance. Because he's getting tired of the shit. He wants people to play here. And
I don't want to play there.
Kraft better get a new regime. Kraft better not fucking even think about.
He better not bring in a Joe Jug, Matt Patricia. Fuck.
Get that out of there. If you want to move on completely. Get a new staff, new organization, new regime.
It's the only way it's going to work. The Patriot way is dead. Can't keep going. You can't bring that to.
Did you see what Fox did? They showed Bill Belichick's record with Tom Brady and without him.
No, I didn't, but I know it's bad.
It's bad.
I know it's bad. What people need to remember is like we'll say this and we'll leave it for when we get to the Patriots. Before Tom Brady was the quarterback for the Patriots were bad. They were a bad franchise. That's what everybody needs to remember.
They won 5 games Belichick's first year.
They were not a good franchise. So, like, this idea that, like, all we know of the Patriots is them being good, all things must return to what they once were. And that's bad. All teams do it. Sometimes it takes longer than others. With the Patriots, it's been 20 years. But we're here. This is what it is.
I just want everybody to know that before Bill Belichick, their coach was Pete Carroll.
And he wasn't good. Pete Carroll, as the NFL coach before he got to the Seattle Seahawks, was not very good. Trust me. I know. He coached my team. Saturday slate of games. We're at that point of the year where we start getting Saturday games, and I love it. Bengals 27, Vikings 24. This game also was fucking strange because Nick Mullins is bad, but then he's good, but then he's bad. And then shout out to Jake Browning screaming on the sidelines. That's what they get for fucking cutting me. That's what they get for fucking cutting me.
T. Higgins, that thing is the play of the year.
That catch was unreal.
That's the
that
play.
Catch and then play.
Yeah, and reaching over. That is the play of the year. That is the number 1 play of the year.
Great awareness. T. Higgins' mom on Twitter was fucking hilarious.
Oh my God, that was hilarious. Oh my God.
People talk about T. Higgins saying that he can't catch worth a damn, and his mom said, "Well, you can't barely catch your fucking breath."
I'm crying. Ugh.
I was like, "Go ahead, T. Higgins' mom, talk that shit." And she did that game. This helped set up my slate for the weekend gambling wise. I picked Vikings plus 5.5. Vikings plus 5.5. No, Bengals plus 5.5, and Joe Mixon anytime touchdown scorer, and that set up me winning some money this weekend. So kudos to me. Shout out to me. Yeah, Jake Browning still good.
It moves the Bengals into the 6th seed. They are the number 6 seed. Still, they can't afford a loss because the Bengals swept the NFC. Have no AFC wins. They swept the NFC West, and then they got that one extra NFC game. They swept the NFC. They're 5-0 against the NFC this season. We'll finish 5-0, and then they can't win again. They're 3-6 against the AFC.
Yep. So now they got Steelers, Chiefs, Bengals.
See that
Browns. Sorry.
The last 2 is going to be tough for them.
Yep.
They can beat the Steelers.
If it's Mitch playing, they're going to beat him. If it's Pickett playing, they're probably still going to beat him.
Yeah, either or, they're going to beat the Steelers.
The Chiefs game is also winnable.
The Jamar Chase injury is separated shoulder, and that might be the difference. But
yeah,
you can throw on the freaking Steelers all day.
This Chiefs game is also an interesting one because the Chiefs Pat Mahomes can't catch a break. We'll do that there, but he can't catch a fucking break with these receivers.
But Joe Burrow's not playing him. The Joe Burrow's the one that freaking gives the Chiefs problems.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's a good situation to be in because I said they have the best receiving core from 1 to 3. If Chase goes down, look, Higgins and Boyd are there.
Mm-hmm. They'll make it work. And they still got Mixon.
I'm mixing, and then Chase Brown is coming alive. So
Colts 30, Steelers 13. Steelers stink. Mitch Trubisky is terrible. Mason Rudolph needs to be the starting quarterback next week.
oh,
You gotta at
Pittsburgh.
least give him a shot.
Well, Pittsburgh will all be drafting Rudolph fucking red noses next week with the we want Rudolph. Especially if they're gonna go with Michigan. You can't. Steelers scored 13, and then the Colts scored 30 unanswered points.
Shout out to Ohio State Buckeye Trey Sermon. 17 carries, 88 yards, 5 yards per carry. We love to see that.
Michael Pittman took a vicious.
Michael Pittman took a nasty hit. Nasty hit.
Like the Steelers, and here we are in this bullshit situation we found ourselves in again with the fucking Steelers. So the narrative is back. I want this to happen so bad, but I don't want it to happen because I picked them to make the playoffs. The Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season narrative is back because they're 7-7.
And they have 3 tough games in a row. The problem here is Mike Tomlin's going to have 1 losing season, and they're going to fire him.
Well, no, they're not going to fire him.
They're going to fire his ass.
They're not going to fire. This team's had 3 coaches in fucking 50 years. They're not going to fire him.
They're going to fire him.
There's plenty of times when Bill Cowher had bad seasons and they didn't fire his ass. Get the fuck out of here. The Rooney family don't do that shit. They fucking
fire him.
The Rooney family is loyal. Mike Tomlin got his offense coordinators. I'm like shit. Even Kellen Moore's an upgrade.
Nah.
Kellen Moore's going to throw the ball down the field, but he's not going to call 40 screens, but he'll throw the ball down the field. The problem with the Steelers is when their receivers don't get in it, they fucking quit.
Yeah, George Pickens,
Deontay Johnson. Allen Robinson is on the fucking team.
Yep. Talk about a player I forgot was on that fucking team. Allen fucking Robinson. And they just Mitch Trubisky sucks.
Deontay Johnson, they fucking quit in the middle. They loaf on plays. And they just don't run. Like, what are we doing here? And they've had multiple conversations with those motherfuckers on the sideline. Like, what are we doing here?
Steelers stink. Lions 42, Broncos 17. This is an ass whooping. Ass whooping. This is also a game I didn't watch past the halftime.
Oh,
halftime hit. I was like, I'm not watching this.
They were abusing that fucking corner opposite Surtain.
Like they always do. We were trying to figure out, because we were talking about on the pod how they said that Tank Dell would have cooked Sauce Gardner last week. And I was like, they haven't really played. They played 2 good defenses all year besides us. I was like, the Broncos defense really isn't like that good. It's just got Surtain and they get some decent pressure. And most of the time, what happens with the Broncos is whoever that opposite corner is outside of Surtain is who they target. And I got to watch. We watch it every week. Wherever 23 is, he's getting cooked. And that happened all day on Saturday here in Detroit.
And we are in an interesting situation here in the playoff picture, because there is a situation where the Detroit Lions could be hosting a playoff game against the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford will be returning to Ford Field.
Yep.
In the playoffs.
I would love that.
I would pick the Rams to win.
I would also pick the Rams to win. You are not the only one.
I don't trust the Lions. I can't do it. I've seen.
If I trust any quarterback in that field, in that stadium, it's Matt Stafford.
The last 2 fucking weeks for the Lions have been fucking. What the fuck you need? Yeah, you needed to play Denver. You needed this Denver game because guess what? You're about to play Minnesota twice, and who else?
You need to get back on track. Now you get Minnesota with Nick Mullins playing quarterback.
They're throwing the ball with Nick Mullins. It doesn't help. Well, it does help with Justin Jefferson back, but fucking the Pasternak got downgraded to third string quarterback.
Yep. How the mighty have fallen here, huh?
Well, I want to know why they didn't put the rookie back, Jaron Hall.
I thought he was supposed to.
Huh?
I thought he was supposed to be starting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's second string now. I'm like, why? Because he started that first game, but then he got knocked out with concussion. And then Dobbs came in, and he was well. Of course, Dobbs won the game, and they were playing good. And then Dobbs turned back to sucking again. But I'm like, and they put in Nick Mullins. I'm like, what? Well, they were playing good with Jaron Hall, even though it was only like 2 series.
Yes. No, yeah, he was just there. He's their second string. I don't. He shouldn't have lost his job.
They promoted when they benched Dobbs last week, and they promoted Nick Mullins. They benched Dobbs all the way third string. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, Jaron Hall's back. I'm like, why is he not starting? They put him at second string. I'm like, okay.
Oh well.
O'Connell's gonna freaking if you're gonna pull the plug on fucking Nick Mullins.
If he plays like he played on Saturday, Nick Mullins will have a short stint here.
They're throwing the ball down the field, but it's also throwing it to the other team.
Saints 24, Giants 6. No Chris Olave. No problem.
My favorite thing about this game was every time the Saints smacked around the Giants, they'd freaking throw up a chicken parmesan. Well, yeah. You know why? Yeah, Tommy DeVito. Yeah, you know why? You know why he looked good against Green Bay? Because Joe Barry is a terrible defensive coordinator. Dennis Allen is a terrible head coach, but he's a great defensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. And you face a real defensive coordinator. This is what happens. This is what happens to you.
Yeah, no, the last 3 games they played not great defenses. Like the Saints defense isn't great, but they scheme well. They scheme very well because of Dennis Allen. And again, there's a lot of talent on the Saints defense anyway. It's just they don't play up to it, and a lot of them are old.
Cutlet got ate up today.
Yes, he did, and shot Derek Carr 23-28, 218, 3 tutters.
They're in the situation, the Giants, where you have to give the kid an opportunity next year to fight for this job. Because you're getting rid of Daniel Jones. The team doesn't believe in Daniel Jones. Let's just say that. And
they're not going to get rid of him next year. It'll be the year after.
Yeah. No, next year Dayball will bench his ass. Trust me.
Yes. You have to give.
They have to play him next year because he's got guaranteed money. But after next year, that's not going to stop Dayball from benching him.
Do you give DeVito a shot to win the job?
Yes.
Yes, I think so too. Do you think they draft a quarterback now?
No.
See? Me either. I'm convinced this organization loves Tommy DeVito so much that even though he's like not great, they love him.
Here's the thing with the Giants, both their backup quarterbacks are better than
the starter.
And they make less money. They're just because we've seen it. I pointed this out earlier. When was the offensive line play better with Tyrod Taylor when they were moving the ball? And this week against the Saints, not a good example because Tommy DeVito was dying every time. He got hit. So one hit, oh my God, they had him laying down like Peter Griffin. He did the Yamcha pose. He got hit so fucking hard.
Yep.
Yeah, and then like the one on their win streak, I'm like, well, are they blocking? Is the blocking bad or was the quarterback bad? There was a little bit of both, but Daniel Jones is terrible. Anybody that thinks Daniel Jones is a good quarterback knows not know anything about football.
Not good. He fooled a lot of people last year. He fooled the Giants organization last year. I think he was good at football.
Everybody, I want to get this out the way. The Giants, and I told at the beginning of the year, I said they're going to suck. Going to have like 6 wins or less. And oh no, they'll make the playoffs. They'll make the playoffs. I'm like, no, that team is bad. They beat teams last year that were worse than them. Plain and simple. And every time they played a team, they got a good team, they got destroyed outside Minnesota, who we knew were frauds. Because in the first game against Minnesota that they lost, they should have won that one. And then they beat them in the playoffs. I'm like, you're not playing good teams. And what happens? Same old Giants.
Browns 20, Bears 17. Joe Flacco was dog shit up until the last drive of this game.
Joe Flacco was that throw in the cover 2 against cover 2 to Amari Cooper was a dime. Like he threw that shit in and nobody made the tackle. And we got the Bear Stevenson in the corner for the Bears. Oh my God, this guy he's the real deal. He's going to be one of the top. He'll be entering in the top 5 corners in the league soon. Like he's freaking shutting them down. Like he's really good.
Listen. I want to give a shout out to Ryan Poles, the GM of the Bears, because keeping him going and getting Montez Sweat.
Montez Sweat has been a monster ever since he come over to the Bears. He was wreaking him. This was like him and fucking Myles Garrett on each side was wreaking havoc. Like, oh, Montez Sweat does something. Myles Garrett like, no, I got to do better. And then Montez Sweat like, no, I'm going to do better. The battle they had while not going up against each other on the field was amazing.
And they did it as an early, like, hey, we know who we're going after in free agency. Let's fucking get him now. Trade whatever we got to trade. Get him now and lock him into a deal so we don't even have to fucking worry about it. And they went and got him. The only thing that really have to figure out is quarterback because Fields is good. I don't know if they're going to want to keep him because they're going to have to pay him. And you could go draft a guy and reset the quarterback clock. So that's where the decision has to be made for Ryan Poles. But kudos to him. Shout out to Justin Fields. That last throw for the Hail Mary.
Hail Mary.
Fantastic.
Darnell Mooney freaking just popped out his stomach. Like,
he hit it, got it, brought it down, hit his thigh, and then kicked it up. And I was like,
the last 5 games he's been good. It's Cleveland's defense doesn't want to act like they not making quarterbacks look silly.
No, it's true. And but again, here's a point I want to make right now. Why is Fields throwing the ball 40 times? I don't understand that. It's a 17. It's a 17. It's a 3-point loss. 17-20. Why is Fields throwing 40 times? That I just don't understand.
Cleveland had Ward back too, so
I don't get it. But hey, shout out to Joe Flacco.
But Joe Flacco, 11-2 as a starter in Cleveland, and he's. Ever since Joe Flacco became quarterback, Njoku is breaking out. His last 3 games have been unbelievable.
The last game-winning drive Joe Flacco had was against the Browns last year with the Jets. Another comeback victory here with the Browns.
Cleveland, he's 11-2 as a starter in Cleveland.
Panthers Falcons. This game sucked. You know how much tickets were for this game, Steven?
$4.
45 cents.
Oh wow!
45 cents and 20 minutes before halftime.
Torrential storm. They're freaking playing into, and look. Now I know it's only their second win, but in those 2 wins, Bryce Young had to drive them down the field. That's what you want to see out of your quarterback
Mm-hmm.
of the future, and to exactly the same spot where they kicked the field goal against Houston, drive them down the field, take up all the time, and win the game. He can do that. The rest of the team needs work. You need a better offensive line. Like the Falcons,
Another
the
receiver.
Falcons have a defense. It's good, but they don't have like no pass rusher or like that puts the fear in me.
Mm-mm.
And the Falcons, Arthur Arthur Blank said he's not going to fire Arthur Smith, but come on, man.
Explain to me why Algier still is getting more carries than Bijan Robinson. Explain to me why Jonnu Smith is still the leading receiver of this team. When you have Kyle Pitts and Drake London on this team. Jonnu Smith.
Ritter ain't helping neither because he sucks. Pointed out last week, I said he's late on throws. He's at the stage. You can't be at this stage and at that stage as a quarterback in the NFL. You can't be late and indecisive. You have to be on time or early because if you're late in the NFL, it's a turnover for the defense.
Mm-hmm.
You have to adjust quickly. He's not a starting quarterback. So you either decide what are you doing because now basically you're out of the division race. I don't see what's the schedule left. Tampa Bay and New Orleans.
For the Falcons,
Yeah,
they got the Colts, Bears, Saints.
they can lose in all 3 of those fucking games.
Shout out to the Panthers. They have a special teams guy as their head coach. I think they called a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first quarter, just so they could punt with the wind, and then let it go into the second quarter, which can only be appreciated by special teams people who understood what the fuck that motherfucker was doing.
You need the field position. It's a game of inches. It could only been fucking 20 yards. But that 20 yards is the difference between not having 9.
Exactly. So shout out to them. Stuff like that, little shit like that, little details like that, I think are hilarious. So shout out to them.
It's a game of inches. Those 4 inches. It's a difference between losing 7-6 and winning 9-7.
Bucks 34, Packers 20. Baker Mayfield balled out in Lambeau.
You
I
know,
think he's the first quarterback in a long time to have a perfect QBR in Lambeau.
No, it's the first quarterback ever in Lambeau Field's history to have a perfect quarterback passer rating in Lambeau Field.
Baker balled the fuck out, man. Balled out.
Yeah, because Joe Barry does not know how to call a fucking defense. This is the other winner I had. I had Rashad White over 21.5 yards receiving.
Yep. He was on my list for anytime touchdown scores. Him and Mike Evans.
And Chris Godwin balled up today. They freaking we're gonna
10
attack
for 155. Shit. Baker was awesome.
He has 4 catches and a touchdown.
And then again, shout out to Jordan Love. Jordan Love was great today too.
This is what my thing with the Packers is all season. LaFleur being an idiot. All those 4th down calls, all those plays were stupid. Like, what are you doing here? Aaron Jones is back. AJ Dillon missed the game. Probably an upgrade. It's an upgrade anyway. AJ Dillon only averages 2 yards a carry.
Yep.
But It's simple things like running the ball. And I know some of their Watson's still hurt, but you got to help your team out. Your quarterback's not playing bad, but you got to protect him better. And the fourth down calls, take the points or something, or have a better play call. Like that one they went for early in the game, a fourth down, in the freaking on the 2 yard line with a terrible freaking play call. How did the
Let's see.
coach?
Oh, here we go. Dolphins 30, Jets 0. This game was an absolute shit show from the second the game started. It got so bad they took it off TV.
Yeah.
Right out of halftime, they took it off TV. I can't even get mad at Zach because Zach was dying all game. The offensive line literally didn't do anything. This whole Jets game was just they were so high off the win in Houston, they didn't do anything else all week. That's all. That's it. That's the long and short of it. They didn't practice. They didn't do anything. They literally walked into Miami and just let Miami do whatever.
And you're officially eliminated from playoff contention.
We were never going to make it.
Oh,
we never were going to make it.
They weren't going to make it, but now you're eliminated. So the Aaron Rodgers talk is done. It ain't fucking happening. How many quarterbacks are going to die on this Jets team?
And all of them. Zach is the most mobile, and he couldn't get away from anything.
You gave fucking Bradley Chubb a fucking like the best game of his career.
Bradley Chubb, notorious guy who just gets pressures, no sacks, had like 3 sacks this game. And I'll tell you exactly what he had. 3 sacks this game. And it all came in like the first quarter. Because Becton was just letting him go by. Laken Tomlinson was just getting killed on stunts. Like everybody was just dying. Like there was no time to throw. When Zach had time to throw, he made the throws. The problem is he didn't have the time to fucking throw. So then the defense got to keep going out there. DJ Reed got killed all game by Jalen Waddle. Absolutely killed all game by Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, he was getting destroyed by Jalen Waddle. The game with Tua played without Tyreek.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he looked good.
He looked very good without Tyreek. Last week, not so much. This week, very much. Very, very much. So, kudos to the Dolphins.
Mostert has more touchdowns than the Jets offense.
Than the Jets, than like 2 other teams this year.
Mostert also broke the record for Dolphins rushing touchdowns in a season.
Mm-hmm. Because he's got 20 touchdowns on the season? What's the record? 23?
No, I think it's 28.
He could look at that.
28. Priest Holmes or LT broke it.
LT broke it.
Yeah.
So I think it's 28. And listen, he may have a chance. He may have a chance. Because I don't think Tyreek's going to get his 2K, but he may have a chance as well.
He needed that game.
Chiefs Patriots. Patrick Mahomes is going to hurt Kadarius Toney. Like, it's bad. Like, Pat Mahomes, it's one thing if you're a quarterback, you're throwing interceptions, right? It's another thing if you're throwing interceptions because your wide receivers can't grab a ball and it's just getting popped up.
Happening to Dak Prescott last year.
Mm-hmm.
But people wanted to just say, oh no, he just sucks like that. Like, oh, if you watch, like 8 of those interceptions were not his fault. It hit the receivers in the fucking hands. Hit him in the chest. Michael Gallup can't catch. He always uses his body to catch the ball, bounce off his chest, go up in the air. Kadarius Toney, he can't catch. Boom, interception. Boom.
Today was the first game I've ever seen Mahomes actually get mad at his receivers.
At some point, look, the coach has got to quit putting him out there. That's on the coach. Quit putting him out there. He's not having a good season. He sucks. The Giants gave up on him for a fucking reason. Dayball would not let that motherfucker sniff the field.
when the Giants took Kadarius Toney, I was very confused because anybody who watched Kadarius Toney in Florida knew this is kind of what he was.
Well, he fell in the draft because he was a bonehead.
Yeah, as we can see, he's a bonehead off the field, and on the field, he's just one of those guys where it's like you just have to figure out a way to get him the football, and he's awesome. The problem is he never had good hands. He's very much so in that Devin Hester, like Ted Ginn role, where it's like, hey, you give them the ball, crazy dangerous.
Just make him a returner, and that's all he can. Do
I'd
not.
love to say he's Percy Harvin, but Percy Harvin could catch.
The
Percy
problem
Harvin was awesome.
And this is on the position coaches and the coaches. Quit putting him in the game. He's having a negative effect on games.
Mm-hmm. Like even Sky Moore is having more of a positive effect on the game. He also stinks. You need to play nothing but Rashee Rice and Sky Moore.
Rashee Rice fucking
put Kelsey in the slot, even though he's having a career year and drops.
McKinnon. Put
Mm-hmm.
McKinnon in. And then you put Pacheco back. Like it didn't even matter. They could play like that, but the good thing about it is they're playing New England. And
yes. And they're able to.
I just want everybody to know the Patriots are so bad that they flex this game. They first ever flex off Monday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
You flex Pat Mahomes off prime time. You know how hard that is to do? The Jets couldn't even flex the fucking Pat Mahomes off prime time.
Granted, we got them early. We got it early. And it was a much better game than this one. This Patriots team stinks. They fucking stink.
Yeah,
fuck the Pats.
The thing about it is the Patriots did what I always tell them to do. Take out Kelsey can't beat you. Take out Kelsey, make the fucking receivers beat you. And they were fucking up so bad that Pat Mahomes wanted to punch them all in the fucking face. And they still lost by fucking 10.
Mm-hmm. The only thing is, I say the Patriots stink now. They're beating us week 18.
Now, I want to know.
I hope we let them beat them on week 18 to fuck up the draft positioning.
Oh, the Panthers are still number one.
Number one, yeah, they have 2 wins.
2 wins.
Let's all. Where's Tankathon?
So the Panthers have no incentive to fucking lose because it's not their pick. So in Tankathon 3000,
bam. If the Jets can fuck around and lose to New England, we keep them out. Fuck it. The Jets can fuck around and lose to both Washington and New England and have a top.
I'm the Jets. I don't want to win the rest of the season. Because you know why? Not because Chicago can win like a couple games. Washington's not going to win anymore.
Well, we got to play Washington next week.
Oh, wow.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. The Jets could lose.
Loser leaves town. If I'm the Jets, you lose that game to Washington, that's a tie break. Now you have the Washington as a tiebreaker. Now you have the 4th pick, which is a more highly tradable pick. Or
Jets have Washington, Cleveland, New England.
Because if you want Devontae, it's going to cost that. Or you don't have Devontae. The Raiders can trade all their picks up to Chicago. The Raiders are taking a quarterback. You can't convince me otherwise.
Raiders are taking a quarterback. Absolutely.
The Jets are interesting because if they end up in the top 5,
Marv.
Yeah, I don't
Marv is going to fall.
Trade that. Because Chicago, and Arizona,
I think is going to trade out.
New England's not taking a wide receiver; they're taking a quarterback. Arizona has the best position for Marv right now.
but I think they're going to trade out
For what?
for a team. They'll probably still trade out to a team in the top 10, but they'll trade out for a team that's trying to give them a lot for a quarterback.
Because I don't see the Chargers are not taking a quarterback. They just paid Herbert. Giants are not fucking taking one. Tennessee's not going to take one.
Vegas.
Atlanta can take one. Vegas can take one. No, New Orleans needs to take one.
There's a few teams I think will do. I think Arizona. They're going to present Arizona with a situation, and it's going to be like, okay, kind of got to do it because there's going to be a run at quarterback. I think there's going to be. I've changed my mind. I think there's going to be 4 or 5 quarterbacks taken in the top 10.
New England's going to take Spencer Rattler and
New England. Yeah, New England's going to try to find a way to take Tua's brother.
Oh
wow. Have nothing but Tagovailoa in the division.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for Florida State to get destroyed by Georgia.
Me too. I on this week's pod, I took 2 wheel spin bets that were presented to me. Not me being aggressive because everyone says I'm aggressive. Anthony bet me wheel spin that Brock Purdy was going to win the MVP. I gladly took that. And then the other guy who was on the pod, DJ Notorious, shout out to you, brother. He's an FSU fan. He took the spread. The spread is 14. I just
want him to know that FSU has 11 people in the transfer portal.
So they can't play, right?
I think there's a thing that they can play, but they're not.
I don't think they're going to.
Their running back is going into the draft. He's not playing that game. Benson
Damn.
going to the draft, so he's skipping the Orange Bowl. So he's going to the draft. So they got 11 people in the transfer portal, and their running back, who's a good running back, is probably going to be drafted in the first round, is going to he's declared for the draft. He's skipping the Orange Bowl.
Well, I took the Georgia minus 14.
Oh, you're probably. Oh yeah, you're going to get that. They're going to lose by 30.
So those are presented to me, and I was like, I will gladly take those bets. Thank you.
Why is Marvin Harrison going to return back to fucking Ohio State? They got the most people in the transfer portal, including their quarterback. McCord hit the transfer portal, so.
Texans 19, Titans 16. Oh boy, was this a slugfest of just weird shit happening.
It's time to say it. Derrick Henry. It's the first time in NFL history that Derrick Henry had 20 touches with 15 yards less of yards from scrimmage. First person in NFL history.
Texans have a good defense.
Yeah.
Like let's don't let last week fool you where they got fucking 30 dropped on them by the Jets. Texans have a good defense. A very good defense.
D'Amico changed the culture.
This is a good team. This is a fun team. I hope this team makes the playoffs.
This is fucking Davis Mills.
Case Keenum, 23 for 36, touchdown, interception. In overtime, me and Jeeves were watching this game in overtime because it's what Red Zone put on. Because once the Jets got taken off TV, I was like, well, I'm just going to watch fucking Red Zone. Fuck it. I'm just going to play Starfield and watch Red Zone. And we watched this, and Will Levis, that Peter Griffin meme you're talking about, of him laying down, I found on Twitter of it being Will fucking Levis and Peter Griffin. Because he got killed. Mike immediately messaged the group chat.
Levis died on that hit. I'm like, oh my God. Because Devin Singletary was running all over this fucking team. And they ran that freaking touchdown. They got called back. Yep. That's the meme.
Mike literally texted the group chat. He's just like, Will Levis just broke his leg. I don't even care about this game anymore. And I immediately 2 minutes ago, he goes, they didn't show the replay, but I know he broke his leg. And then they come back for commercial and I was like, I don't think he broke his leg, Michael. He's walking. He goes, I don't care. This team just lost all of its energy, all of its heart and spirit once they saw him go down. I'm like,
What spirit did they have? It's not like they were going anywhere.
They would have won that game.
Yeah,
I think they would have won. Yeah, no, they are. They absolutely are. I think they would have won, but hey,
that's what happens to the fourth best team in the AFC South. They lose games to Case Keenum.
You can't lose games to Case Keenum. It's not fucking 2018
with no fucking wide receivers. No Nico Collins before the game.
What's his face? Noah Brown was awesome this game. Yeah, 8 for 82 and a touchdown. Noah Brown was fantastic this game. I'm glad he didn't show up last week. What do we got here? Niners Cardinals. I mean, I really don't know what to say here.
They don't. What do you expect? They're playing the Cardinals. They better beat the Cardinals.
Brock Purdy 4 touchdowns. McCaffrey 115 yards rushing, 70 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns total.
Yeah, that's your fucking
that's
MVP.
Your MVP. Yeah, that's the MVP on your fucking team. That guy there. More than half of Brock Purdy's total yardage was all McCaffrey's yardage of handing off.
I like after the game, Trent Williams and Christian McCaffrey in the press conference. It was like Robin Big.
Yep.
San Francisco, here we go. We're going. Christmas. They play the Ravens on Christmas. And then guess what? This is their last game against the Rams. That's not going to be an easy one because McVay gives Shanahan problems.
Yeah, they're going to run through the commies, but this Christmas game is going to be so fucking good. It's going to be interesting to see how San Fran reacts to another team that's going to try to punch them in the mouth.
Yeah, and Lamar, who's like 19-1 all time against the NFC.
Really like to see it because if Lamar wins that game, that all but locks up an MVP for him.
Lamar beats the San Francisco 49ers. He's the MVP.
If he goes in there and plays a Lamar Jackson football game, there's your 2-time MVP. Rams 28, Commanders 20. Sam Howell got benched. But then Ron Rivera came out and was like, hey, Sam Howell's going to be starting next week. Just fire Ron Rivera now. Just fire him.
Yeah, just fire him. What is he doing? We know you're going to do it. Just do it. You can't. Don't fucking pull the guy, bench him, and then say we're going to start him. Well, why'd you bench him?
Exactly. Why bench him if he's just going to be starting next week?
Yeah.
Brissett played great.
Yeah, I'm like, it's like, oh, you might as well try out Brissett. You got nothing to lose. You're not coming back next year regardless. So you might as well just play Jacoby Brissett and see what the hell happens.
Yeah. At this point, you play to go get Bieniemy a job somewhere. That's it. Play to get Bieniemy a job. Because it doesn't make sense any other way. So what are you gonna? Granted, yeah, you're gonna have a good draft pick. You really don't want to win the rest of these games, so you might as well want to fucking do that. But if you're Ron Rivera, why do you give a fuck? Why do you give a fuck about the draft position of this team?
Your team's not gonna take the draft pick. You gotta, if you want another job, you gotta show something. But there was a play this game, and Cooper Kupp was wide open by like 50 yards. No one was within it. I'm like, Washington defense is so bad. I'm like, oh my God, come on, man. Cooper Kupp was wide. Cooper Kupp has never been this open in his life.
He's probably in shock himself.
Oh, he freaking jogged to the end zone. There's no fucking defender within 30 yards of him.
These Commanders stink. They stink.
Yeah. Last place, NFC East Commanders.
Now, Steven, I've been waiting to hear your opinion on this game all day.
Why?
Buffalo Bills 31, Dallas Cowboys 10.
Well, you want to hear my opinion? You want to know why the fucking why they got outcoached?
I would like to hear your opinion because my thing is, I think they went into this game thinking shit was sweet because they got a big win last week, and they allowed their arrogance to get the best of them.
Well, it's not only
Micah Parsons didn't really. Where was he?
The game plan is the game plan for the Cowboys. I don't understand. This is one of the worst pass defenses of all time. They played with their safeties back the whole fucking game. So they're daring you to run the ball, Mike McCarthy. You have to run the ball. Now, again, I will get 21 points from Buffalo came from dumb, boneheaded penalties on the defense that can't get off the field because of their own damn actions. Now, ever since Mike McCarthy's been the head coach of the fucking Dallas Cowboys, they've been number one in fucking penalties every fucking year. Every fucking year. When the first series of the game, they have Buffalo down, they force them, it's going to be 3, they rough the fucking quarterback. Guess what? Touchdown. They're at midfield, it's 7-0. They rough the fucking punter. Guess they go down, score a touchdown. Then the fucking helmet hit on the fucking wide receiver. Touchdown. They couldn't stop. The weakness of the Dallas Cowboys is their linebacking core. That's why they were trying to sign Darius Leonard. Because if you can run on the Dallas Cowboys, that Josh Allen did not throw this game. Threw 15 times. We're going to run the ball down your fucking throat because they're undersized at defensive line. And guess what? Micah Parsons can't wreck the game if you run the ball at him.
They ran the ball more times this game than I remember them doing in the last 4 years.
Ran the ball ever this much since Josh Allen was the quarterback.
Never.
And I've been screaming for them to fucking run the ball like this for fucking 2 years now. Especially when they got James Cook, who at Georgia they could use as a wide receiver. And that's what they did this game too. From scrimmage, he had like 221 yards total.
Yeah.
He could not fucking be stopped. They could not stop him running the ball, and they could not stop him coming out of the backfield. James Cook is the weapon. That's how they used him at Georgia. You got to use him in the passing game. Get him involved in the passing game. If Josh Allen is only throwing the ball 15 times and they're fucking blowing teams out, but Dallas got outcoached and then fucking punched in the mouth, out physical. Because when you give up over 200 yards fucking rushing, you got your shit pushed in.
And so Miami next week, right?
Yeah, they got to go on to the next week. The defense has to get off the field when they get off the field. You cannot do stupid bonehead penalties. I'm not saying they're BS penalties. I'm saying they're bonehead penalties because the fucking player knows better.
Mm-hmm.
Personal foul penalty. Stupid shit. Like, come on, man. They hit the quarterback late. It fucking roughed the punter. You weren't going to block that punt and you roughed the punter. You know when to fucking pull up and not. You just run to the punter. And then that fucking helmet hit on the fucking curse on the receiver. That's your defense not getting off the field. Putting yourself in that situation. They don't play well in bad weather.
They do not, but luckily for you, South Beach next week.
Yeah, that doesn't mean it's been bad weather all week. You see what Jacksonville was dealing with those 25 miles an hour winds? We've been dealing with that for like the past 5 days. It was like a mini hurricane. I left on my way to work. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Did a tornado come? Fucking lights were all over the freaking traffic lights were spinning around, debris all over on the roads. and like one gas station was pushed like it got hit by a Cat 5 hurricane. I'm like, what happened? And oh yeah, when I was driving too, it's like boom. I'm like, I never drive with both hands on the steering wheel. I'm like, what the fuck? And I've driven in a hurricane before. What the fuck was that? It's not fucking hurt.
We have who's tomorrow? Seattle and Philly. Jalen Hurts is questionable.
So Gino, we could have Marcus Mariota
and Drew Lock.
and
Monday Night Football.
Not to mention, what is it? Desai has been removed from play calling and the defense coordinator, and Matt Patricia is going to be calling defense for the Philadelphia Eagles, which means it's only going to get worse from here.
Yeah, a lot of people forget that Matt Patricia, former defense coordinator of the New England Patriots, where the defensive coordinator doesn't call plays because Bill does, who then went to go be head coach of the Detroit Lions and immediately pissed off Darius Slay, who at that point was his best defensive player, and who's coaching Darius Slay again.
I just want to point out that before the season started, why Philadelphia's defense was so terrible, I'm not shocked. We saw this last year. They just had an easy schedule last year. They played a bunch of nobodies, had an easy cakewalk through the fucking. They beat the Giants in the fucking play at first in the second round, and then they fucking had to play the quarterbackless 49ers. Oh, yes. That's what? You're not going to throw the ball. I'll put fucking 10 in the box. Let's go. We'll leave a receiver wide open. You're not going to throw it. And before the season, before training camp, they were trying to trade Darius Slay for a reason. And Bradbury, they're trying to get rid of him. No takers. So what is okay? We'll see how it goes. Shocker.
So we'll see. I would love to see what this brings tomorrow once we go through the day and figure out who's playing and who's not playing. But we will see. We did our Tankathon updates. We are. Looks like we're done here, sir.
We got the playoff picture is the NFC and AFC playoff picture is a lot different now.
Let's see.
As right now, you got the 5, 6, and 7 seed for the AFC is Cleveland at 5, Cincinnati at 6, and the Colts at 7, with Houston and Buffalo in the back at 8 and 6.
Oh wow! So Houston's out.
Houston and Buffalo are on the outside looking in.
But that'll get taken care of week 18.
They play the Colts, yeah.
They play the Colts week 18.
On the NFC side, well, Dallas, San Francisco, and Philly are the only teams that clinch the playoff spot in the NFL. So they're 3 in. Now, Tampa Bay, the NFC South leader, because they beat New Orleans, so they own the tiebreaker. Now, 6 is Minnesota at 7-7. The Rams are 7-7 at 7. And New Orleans at 7-7 at 8. And if Seattle wins, they can be right back at 7-7.
I would like to point out the Texans play the Browns and the Colts in the next 3 weeks.
That's rough.
They play the Browns, they play the Titans again, and then they play the Colts again. But that will be hopefully with CJ Stroud.
The Browns game is tough, especially if it's in Cleveland.
No, it's in Houston.
Oh, it's in Houston.
It's in Houston. The Colts game's in Indy.
The problem is Jim Schwartz defenses own Shanahan type offenses. That's it's the fucking truth. Jim Schwartz knows how to fucking put that shit down. Shut that shit down. Because Cleveland's a high 5 seed. They own tiebreakers of everybody. I think they still play Baltimore again.
No.
No, they're done with Baltimore.
They play the Bengals.
The Bengals and the Steelers. Oh, they're down.
Texans, Jets, Bengals.
Oh wow.
So that Houston Cleveland game,
Houston
big
Cleveland
deal.
game is huge, especially with Cleveland. Well, Cleveland can afford a loss. That's the thing.
Cleveland can afford a loss because that'll just drop them and put Houston up. Houston then has to beat Indy.
Yeah, but then Cleveland and Cincinnati have to fucking go at it. So who can sneak in? So Buffalo can sneak right in while all those teams are beating the shit out of each other. Because Buffalo plays the Chargers next. That's a dub.
Patriots and then Dolphins.
And Dolphins.
That Dolphins game, they have to win.
They have to win the Dolphins game.
Because what? They're now...
They're 8-6.
8-6.
The Dolphins play the Cowboys on Christmas Eve. Because Dolphins play the Cowboys, Ravens, and then finish up Bills. So the Dolphins can't. The Ravens and the Dolphins are right there, and they freaking play each other. Ravens playing San Fran, and then Miami, and then look who's sneaking back at number one. Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs if they win out. Which, I don't know who the Chiefs got left on their schedule.
The Chiefs have...
They play the Bengals, but...
Chiefs have Raiders, Bengals, Chargers.
They could easily go 2-1 or 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
So those other teams can't slip.
Because old Patty Mahomes knocking on that door of another home playoff stretch is going to be incredible.
Yeah, never played a road playoff game. The coaches, Chiefs coaches, don't put Kadarius Toney in the fucking game unless he's returning. Or
cut him.
You're gonna have to cut him. What has he done this year?
No.
He was scrutinized.
Fuck up everything.
He was lighting up Giants fans at the beginning of the season, and then, boy, are they getting his ass back. When they won the Super Bowl, he was lighting up Giants fans, and then the Giants fans and him were going back at it all fucking off season at the beginning of the season, and then he's been terrible this year.
He's been awful. He's been everything I thought he was going to be. All right. On that note, I have to take a shit. So I'm Podcast Poppy. I'm Dylan Barreto. This is Big Brother Steven Barreto. We will be back. We will be back probably New Year's Eve. Because Christmas Eve, I'm just not here. I got too many obligations. Christmas is the big holiday for us. So I have too many obligations to be here next Sunday night. Unless I'm probably not. I'm not committing to Christmas Eve. But if I end up being here on Christmas Eve, I'm here and we'll be here and everybody will know. But we will see you next time.